Yay. And his opponent in the top right with a personal sponsorship from Coca. My man, he has the red Zerg player representing France. Can he keep his win streak going? It's Denver. Wow, Denver's actually hard Canada. Denver playing so smart because he hasn't gone hatch first.
What a brilliant move. Grant, tell us more about why this 15 pool from Denver is the smart play, not just against Bly, but against Bly's specific play.
Yeah, because Bly is known for going for this early aggressive build, and Oxide a good map for it, not having the biggest rush distance in the world. So Bly cut out a lot of economy to get the early pull, but he still has to get across the map. He still has to make these 6 lings which are building now and get across the map. Denver is going to have the opportunity to make lings of his own because he has gone for that pool first and be ready with a queen to deal with this. This is a very, very solid start here from Denver, who I think was looking to go quite aggressive himself. But as long as he makes a couple of lings and sees this before it's too late, he should be fine. And here comes...
Can we talk about how smart freaking Denver is, setting his overlords in unorthodox scouting patterns as well, one up north and one down south, instead of sending one straight across the map, which is Bly is trying to hide those lings obviously for as long as he can, but Denver knows this. He's like, yeah, you're trying to hide your lings, so as long as I get my overlords in weird scouting patterns, you're going to try and dodge my overlords, but if I put him in weird patterns, you're not going to be able to dodge him. And really smart here from Denver. He should be at a strong position this game, but don't count Bly out. He's a very smart player. Great movements here by Denver to try and pick off some of those lings as they come in from Bly. Denver's definitely all in on this one now. We see no more drones being produced on that side of the map, and Bly does not suspect this at all. Denver's done a good job zoning out the overlords of Bly, and if you check Bly's vision, you'll see he's got no clue that the Nidus is coming. I'm not even sure he's seen the lair tech if you check there. And this is really surprising from Bly to not get this scouting in. Surely he suspects that something like this is coming. He's got to think it's either going to be some sort of crazy swarm host play or maybe straight in the Nidus. But again, Bly really investing a lot in infrastructure here. 45 drones, lair tech, +1 melee attack, and still only 8 army supply on the map. That Nidus in the main is going to go undetected. Grant, I'm a little bit worried for Bly here.
Why is Bly getting +1 melee? He doesn't even have ling speed. This is absolutely mental to me. Is he going to... I honestly...
He's listening to you.
This is crazy. Yeah, all right. Starts off ling speed now. This is a mistake, though, from Bly. There are queens. There are lings everywhere. Denver has 26 to 8 army supply. The main is immediately evacuated. The spawning pool can go down. There will never, ever be ling speed in this game for Bly. He's going to have... cancelled his +1 in the end. He's making a bunch of spines. But I think, unfortunately, for Bly, this is looking really rough here. These lings managed to get a pretty good wraparound, too. So many workers are about to fall down, Creighton also.
Here's the good news, Grant Hill, is that even if 10, 20 workers go down for Bly, he'll still be ahead on workers. Unfortunately, with the queens out, he's got transfuses still available on these queens as well, and that Nidus worm still going down in the main. Another Nidus in the natural. Bly's spines will get up here, but more lings going to pour out for Denver. Bly might be able to hold here. He's taken a lot of damage, but is it going to be enough, Grant? This is actually going to be a lot closer than I thought. Look at that drone kill count. Ling speed does finish up for Bly, but his lair tech now under siege.
Yeah, Bly's going to lose all of his tech. That's a big problem. He will have his roach for him, which is nice. And his roach count is getting... I mean, it's 2. But the spines as well. I do think Denver's still in a great position here, but this is a weird game at this point. Like, it's very rare someone can lose 26 workers and the game still be close. At the 6-minute mark. But that's the case that we have right now. And actually, Bly saves his main. If everything in the main lives for Bly, I really like this for Bly, because he can redrone. He's now got roaches. He has no upgrades, sure. But he has lair, which his opponent, does have. Okay.
For the Nidus.
Of course, for the Nidus, yeah. Oh my god,
yeah,
one leg.
Weird. You know, Grant, we make a living talking about StarCraft, and we're expected to sound intelligent about games, but mostly that's because we've seen 1,000 games, right? So when we go in, pardon me, when we go into like a Ling Bane Muta versus Marine Marauder medevac game, how many thousands of games have you seen with that exact composition? But we have a broad base of knowledge, knowing how to talk about the game and kind of being able to know what's going to happen based on our experience. In games like this, where it's double Nidus with 17 drones into a 20 drone kill, where Bly is still somehow ahead on workers and going for more workers, and then Denver's transitioning to Spire after Nidus. We've seen, maybe 4 or 5 games where this happens. It's so difficult to predict, and I can't wait to see what these players bring. Really, I still think genuinely Bly is ahead, but it's anybody's game, Grant. Anybody's game. This night is probably not going to go down.
The Nidus is purely a diversion tactic right now. Denver knows he needs time because the one thing Spire players hate is when the Roach player just walks across the map. So what does he do? He's feigning aggression. He's feigning that he's made a lot of units and wants to continue harassment, when in reality it is Spire, and he's bought himself a lot of time. I really like what Denver's just done. The problem is he has no money. Like, you can't make mutants without money.
I was about to say, I almost agree with what you're saying, but the fact is Denver has absolutely no money at all. In fact, spending all of his minerals on 2 overlords so he doesn't get supply blocked with no... Usually when you have a Spire, obviously, Mutalisks cost 100 each. So when a Spire finishes in an ideal world, you're going to want 1,000 in the bank and 10 Mutas to smack out immediately. 3 sad Mutalisks coming out from Denver right now. And as you so aptly pointed out a moment ago, Bly is going to try and feed Denver a taste of his own medicine, going for Nidus Worm himself. Unspotted.
Yeah, and Bly's Nidus Worm... Pardon?
Did Denver see that Nidus Worm?
No. And Bly's Nidus Worm is dangerous because Bly has a whole lot of units. But there are a few mutas out already. I just think... How many mutas are we looking at? 4. It's not enough. If a Nidus Worm can go up, Bly needs to know. He sees the mutas. He's got to know. There we go. A Nidus Worm coming up in an aggressive position. I don't mind this. Don't go for the main. It's probably not going to go up where the mutas are chasing. But go for a position where you can get all the roaches out. The main thing Bly needs to be aware of now, and he does. He has his wall completely kept. This is so good. Is there is a big Ling counterattack that was queued up. But now Bly is coming. He is looking for blood, and I don't know if Denver has enough.
So smart here on the Nidus Worm. You couldn't have said it any better there, Grant. He knows that, oh yeah, that drone's got to get back to the Spore Crawler. The Spore Crawler's going down, a couple of Queens here, Transfuse is available. I think he'll be able to defend against these Mutalisks just a little bit, even if the Queens go down. As you said, the Roach count just so high right now, and Mutalisks do so little damage against Roaches. It's just a little bit sad. You know, Mutalisks only do 9 damage. They don't do bonus damage against armored Roaches like that, so the Roach is going to last forever, and as long as Bly retreats these Spore Crawlers, tries to save them as they're being built, and keeps, oh my god, the micro of those Queens into the Night Eye is so gorgeous, and Bly even getting a cancel on one of those Spore Crawlers. But as the Spore Crawlers begin to push forward, Bly's got a good chance of not just doing damage, but even containing Denver. Grant, how would you feel if Bly expanded behind this?
I don't think he needs to. He really doesn't realize that there is only 33 Lings. In terms of upgrades, there are none. I think Bly's plan is to wait for another round of Roaches, 2 more Queens, and then probably go. Because the Mutalisk count is still very, very low here. Yeah, Bly's seeing that the Mutas are out of position. He is now going to move up the ramp. There are spines here, but Bly has enough. He's going to drop a couple of biles. Doesn't manage to take down that spine. He does have enough spores here now to be a direct threat to Denver. But Bly is playing maybe a little bit too passive. He doesn't... I don't know. It's hard to know exactly how the fight would go. With +1 air weapons now completing here for Denver, that will make the fight a little bit better. 1 Queen falling very quickly. That's great. Every Queen very important right now. And we do have a Nidus, a counter Nidus at the other side of the map, and there's actually nothing here to deal with it. Okay, Roach is nice.
This is really interesting here from Denver. He's up to 18 Mutalisks. Going to be building a few more as well. And that's really, you know, you were correct a few minutes ago when you said that there weren't enough Mutalisks out to be scary.
There are now.
But now there are finally enough Mutalisks out to be really scary here. And Denver actually finds himself in a pretty decent position. He's ahead on drones here. He's got +1 flyer attack. He's working on a lot of spine crawlers back home. But the static defense for Bly also costing a lot of money. This match is actually fantastically interesting. You know, Grant, I feel like I say this every match, and it's never more true. Never, ever count out one of these pro StarCraft players. Denver had a very awkward opener here, didn't get the damage done. We were saying that, wow, Bly's up, you know, twice as many workers as his opponent, even more. Denver was down to 17 drones at one point, and now he's in a really interesting position where he has a very real chance of pushing Bly back. Bly's going to try and make his way into the main base with the Nidus Worm to try and divert those Mutalisks and maybe sneak into the natural. I don't know if it's going to work, though, Grant.
This hasn't been scouted, though. Denver does not know where this Nidus is. He's looking for it everywhere, thinking it was maybe around the 3rd. But now, oh my god, there's so many drones. Now Roach is going to swarm in. There's not that many Lings. The Mutas just need to deal with these Roaches. But there's so many. The Queen will fall, and drones need to be the target here, I think, from Bly. He just needs to cripple the economy massively. I'm still concerned that when push comes to shove, will Bly have enough? Because eventually these Mutas will clean up these Roaches. I mean, this is a lot. 22 Mutalisks is a shit ton that can go across the map, and no amount of Queens. Yeah, Bly going for an infestation pit now. He can only make Roaches. This game is so weird.
Where's that bleep button on your soundboard, Grant? Come on, man. Third base down for Denver now at a very unusual location. He's trying to ninja that third base in. I'm not really sure if has that been spotted by Bly yet. If you want to check the vision of Bly really quickly, I'm not sure if he spotted it or not. But another Knight is going down here for Bly, and Bly thinks he's contained Denver, right? But the Mutalisk is going to pick off that Overlord, and there's no scout available now for Bly. Denver on a third base, on way more drones, and on superior technology. I think Denver's in a really incredibly strong position. This is amazing.
There is the possibility that this could be a draw. It is.
No.
The Mutas cannot kill all the buildings. There's too many spores now. If all of these spores go up, this position is and if Bly wishes to just YOLO and kill all the drones, it's a small possibility, but I've seen stranger things in StarCraft. Now with Infestors coming in, does Bly...
Yes, not a technical draw, but like an agreed upon draw. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think so, actually. I think with this many Mutalisks, I'm pretty sure Bly can go in, snipe out one spore, then just retreat and let the Mutas heal back up, and then go in for another ride. Yeah, with Infestors out...
It's weird now. The Infestors are... Okay, they've come out. They were hiding in the Nidus, which I really liked. He's trying to bait right now. Like, oh, I'm too far forward. Come and get me, please.
Right. No pathogen glands for the Infestors, though, which means the even at full energy, they're going to be limited by the amount of consecutive fungals they can do. Only 3 Infestors out right now, and they're still at about half energy. So yeah, this is going to become a very, very weird CG kind of game with Bly just trying to box Denver in. But again, Bly does not know about this base at the 11 o'clock. So unless he's able to get out there and actually do some damage with that base, he's going to be in so much trouble there, Grant.
I wonder if he sends one burrowed roach. Yeah, he is. He's going to. This is so good. He's going to check for it. He knows something's up. There's no... His opponent should be more stressed if he was only on 2 bases. So Bly is now going to go up and be like, oh, you mother fricker, and deal with it, and deal with this now with the burrowed roaches. Another Nidus going down from Denver at the other side of the map. This one, all it needs is a few lings in it. There's 10 lings that can move across and go for the cancel here, and that's what I imagine we will see happen. Bly is abandoning so much of a static defense to kill that third base.
Oh god. Yeah, this could be a really good opportunity for Denver here. He's gonna. Oh no! Don't get in. Kill the roaches. Kill the roaches, Denver. Go to your third base, buddy. And that's what he's gonna do. He needs to fly those Mutalisks over to the third base. Forces a cancel on Bly's third base as well. But he's gonna eat a lot of damage here before those Mutalisks respond. Why is Denver not sending his Mutas over to this base, Brent? What is he thinking?
I don't think he really needs to. The base. There wasn't enough drones. There's not enough drones to saturate it now anyway. Like the roaches could have done it maybe, but if these Mutas, If the Mutas get caught, you just can't take this risk. Oh, that's the fungal. There's one. There's enough energy to chain them. All of these Mutas will start to fall down. No, okay, he doesn't get the opportunity to chain as the Nidus does go down. That was very close for just a moment there. I still think Denver is in a great position. He has so many Mutas created. 29, soon to be in the 30s. Bly has no answer for that.
Yeah, he's got 6 Infestors, which is, it's really cute. Those tech
number
units.
Though, actually. 6.
Yeah, the tech units are such a cute opportunity for Bly to try and win this game with some chain fungals if he gets lucky. But the problem is that Denver has much more reliable units, right? I would pick 25 Mutalisks over 6 Infestors every day of the week and twice on Sundays, just because the Mutalisks not only have speed, they're able to control zones a little bit better, and the Infestors rely on that hair trigger timing to be able to snipe the Mutalisks. Bly has maybe seen these roaches. I'm not sure yet. Oh, the Overseers are right here, so he will spot those roaches soon. And let me tell you guys, once those roaches go down, the army supply of Bly is just going to plummet. And once the roaches are gone, what does he have? Nothing. He's got nothing after those roaches are gone. 6 Infestors? He can't win the game on 6 Infestors.
I mean, he's going up to 11. This gets weird. Really weird.
Overseer from Denver. The Overseer from Denver pixels away from spotting those burrowed roaches at 12 o'clock. They're going to pop up soon.
Yeah, they're waiting for the base to finish. Yeah, he sees it. Bly is going to try and target down the base maybe, but he's going to lose so many roaches. This is like all of his supply right now. Aggressively, apart from those Infestors. This base will maybe not even go down. It's going to be very close. No, it's going. What? It's gone.
Wow.
But I mean, that was the last possible volley. So Bly gets another kill on the base. He really bought his time there. But now Pneumatized Carapace is finished, meaning Burrow isn't going to be much of an issue with these speedy Overseers. It's all going to come down to Bly needs perfect fungals.
Yeah, it's going to take perfect fungals here, as you said. 11 infestors, 11 roaches. The Mutalisks into the main base now getting chased away. One fungal gets a couple of these mutants, but look how many chain fungals he's dropping. Yeah. Look at all these fungals trying to catch a couple of the mutas, and only a handful of mutas going down here. The Mutalisk clock's still pretty healthy. 32 mutas out for Denver right now, and with a third base down, Denver just has a much more sustainable economy. He's got map control. He's got more drones. He's got +2 flyer attacks, even making a Hydra Den now, just for some more army on the ground. I think Denver's in a beautiful position right now.
And the magic number right here is 1, Creighton, because this is just map 1.
Isn't that the loneliest number?
I don't know. Sure, maybe.
Do you not know the song? You know what? It doesn't matter. Yeah. Again, a fungal just barely missing here.
He's splitting. He's pre-splitting. This is super nice. But I mean, there's an infinite amount of fungals almost at this point, I believe. This amount of infestors, he does manage to catch a lot of these mutants. Where are the infested Terrans? Oh yeah, they got removed. Bly was wishing he could have them right now. He's trying to infest and then drop the bios, but he just doesn't have a queen number to back this up. He needs to hit these fungals on spores to have a chance. Bly, I think, at this point is in so much trouble because Denver has expanded. Now, there are roaches doing a lot of damage at the other side of the map here. They're going to be able to get on top of the base again. Actually kill it, I think. The mutants are coming, but don't go for drones. Yeah, actually, I think he does have to go for drones.
I don't know. I think the base might have been a better choice here. He may be able to snipe this base again, but like we said, even if Denver has to rebuild this base, it's fine. Look at the income graph, Grant. Denver's just been so far ahead for the majority of the game, even with that third base going down and 17 drones going down for Denver. Look at the drone count. Who's ahead still? Bly is definitely trying now. He's really working hard, and again, not out of the game completely. But as we said earlier, these Mutalisks more continued damage, more reliable damage. And can I point out really quickly that in that engagement in the main from Bly and Denver, Denver was not only pre-splitting his mutas, he saw the fungals coming and then split his mutas in post after the fungals have been released. Big fight though for these Mutalisks, and then a little bit slow on the infestors. All the infestors on here for Bly. This is it. This is what he needed.
Massive fungals, but he doesn't have the damage underneath to support them. Fungals are good, but these +2 mutas in terms of +2 +2 air weapon mutas, just doing too much, and Bly losing unfortunately everything. What an incredible game one of this best of 3, but Denver will be able to close it out. There's 2 more infestors coming, but they do not have the upgrade. They will not pop with enough energy to fungal. Bly losing a base again on the north side. He just has nothing left, I'm afraid.
Sad pathogen gland sounds here. Do you have that on your soundboard, Grant? I don't know what a pathogen gland.
Just that one.
Close enough. You know what? Yeah, natural goes down here. And again, we can't blame Bly for staying in this game, guys. Very unusual games like this. And remember, we have map hacks, and Bly doesn't really know how far behind he is. He may think that this is like Denver's last chance. Denver might have nothing back home. Remember, he's picked off Denver's third base like 3 or 4 times now. But we know with our map hacks, with no fog of war, that Denver is just in an unassailable position right now. The Nidus goes down, removing any chance for trickery from Bly. And these last infestors trying to spook Denver a little bit, trying to scare him away. But Bly's income now dropping to almost 0 with that main base just gone. Look at that micro from Bly, seeing that fungal growth coming and dodging out of the way. So good. So good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't see any saleable way right now for Bly. If he'd have had 4 or 5 more queens, which is a lot, I know, then it would have been a different fight when he could hit those chain fungals. But right now, fungals just do not do enough. Base DPS alone, his spore count, which is his main form of DPS, is only 4. And sure, they do a lot of damage, but he needs like all of them, and they always need to be with the infestors. If Bly makes one mistake, actually Denver's done. He's going for it, and I mean, he just has so much. The fungals are great, of course. They do so much damage here over time, but there's just not enough. The slowest. Oh my god.
It's going to be like 1 chain fungal short, and all the mute is barely still alive. If one more change, gaming, the Zerg race, and fans of fungal growths everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bly.
And his opponent in the southeast of Romanticide, representing Coco with a personal sponsorship. He is a Red Zerg player from France. Can he close the series out and start the tournament at 2-0? It's Denver.
I mean, hot damn. Can we talk about if Denver starts this shit at 2-0, Grant? That would be the most unlikely. He 2-1 shut down yesterday, and now he's going to 2-0 Bly. Like, that'd be an insane result for a player like Denver, who, again, and we said this the last time we cast him, is currently in the throes of fighting COVID-19. I don't know a specific medical history, but I know he's been struggling with an illness lately, or still struggling with that illness. I don't want to speculate, and it's his own personal business, but just incredible play. Not just because, like, oh, he's a sickly boy and he's doing well, but, like, he's doing well.
He's playing.
Just overall, in general, he's doing so good.
Yeah.
And if he starts out 2-0 in Group A, are you kidding me, Grant?
Yeah, I mean, we won't speculate, of course, but what we know for facts is that on the 15th of October, which is, a week ago, he tweeted that he had been just diagnosed as positive for the coronavirus. And that he was only able to practice a couple of games a day. He's playing like he's been practicing several hours, like he's been practicing like a Korean. Denver's been incredible so far in this tournament, and now he has an opportunity to throw himself into the top of the group and earn another $125, as every player that wins the series does earn. It's looking like it could be a good year for Denver, or a good tournament even. Yeah, maybe not.
Absolutely, Grant. Well, yeah, and I'm always the first guy to sort of temper our expectations and make sure we as casters are not doing too much hyperbole. Bly is still an incredible player. I think he's still probably the favorite to win this series. Like, don't, just because he lost game one, it isn't like he's like, well, I may as well just GG out because I lost a game to Denver. Are you kidding me? Bly is a fierce competitor and a passionate player. He's going to give it his all these next two games, and Denver is in no way out of the woods just yet. Bly is always a scary player. So while I think we're, we got to temper our expectations a little bit. I can be really excited for Denver, he's realizing that, hey, wait a minute, if Denver's going for this economic expansion, focusing on his economy, building up those drones, going for tech, and looking to power to +1 roaches quite quickly, which he is. Look at that, Denver already cranking out 5 roaches and +1. But Bly realizing that if he hits before +1 and he gets a Nidus in, he can not only negate the defender's advantage for Denver, but can also have a slight army supply advantage as well. Both players stopping on 39 drones, and Bly slightly behind on the roach count, but I expect that to even up pretty quickly here. This is going to be a really interesting fight as Bly's Nidus goes down outside the third of Denver. Denver is not.
Bly wanted to drop it in the main, of course, but Denver has Lings on patrol. He really seems to have Bly's game plan, figured out, or at least accounted for. The Bly's now going to move across. He has Queens alongside this. Upgrades are dead even in terms of unit counts. Denver actually has more roaches, so Bly shouldn't be able to get a massive amount done here, and I think he realizes this. But the Queens of Denver are not in position. They are sitting a little bit far away. Bly's first Queen will go down here, and Denver's starting to take a pretty good fight. Numbers do look to be favoring Denver, and the longer this goes on, the better it will be for him.
Yeah, the only big difference right now is that Bly does have that Glial Reconstitution, that Roach Speed upgrade. His Nidus in the main has gone down, and I thought he might be able to use Roach Speed to maybe position to get a bit of a better fight like we saw Stefano do against Soldier just several games ago, but that's a really nice shutdown from Denver. As you said, the patrolling Lings in the main, so clutch, and now that Bly has been popped back home, oh my god, he was going for a third base to try and get his way out of this, but he's even going to get stopped there by a single Ling. Bly has got to be frustrated with this opener. Denver holding like a champion right now, Grant. +1, so close to being finished.
Yeah, Denver is, everything Denver's doing is working out. Bly is thrown down the emergency when behind Dark Spire. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
It's all right. I got it.
Okay.
If to win, you do aspire. The building, it's the exact same rhyme, isn't it? What else rhymes with aspire? I'll think about it. You talk, and I'll make something up. Hang on.
When you're not on fire, use the spire.
There you go. There you go. Nailed it.
Oh my god, I'm so good.
Roach count huge for Denver right now, Grant. And it's funny, we're going to see about the opposite of what we saw last game, where, of course, Denver went for Spire, and Bly had the massive Roach count. So Bly going to get forced back home. He is going to get a beat on all these Roaches, though, and now Bly should realize, crap, something bad's happening. Normally, of course, this is the point where the Spire's almost finished up, that we normally see a Zerg player saving up tons of minerals, tons of gas, but Bly has got to spend that on Roaches. He doesn't have +1 missile attacks. He's building 3 spines. Bly is in so much trouble right now, Grant. Denver is on the warpath.
Nearly 3 times the amount of roaches right now for Denver. +1 melee will get cancelled, but it's not going to be relevant in this anyway. There's very, very few Lings here. I mean, the roach number is just overwhelming. We're looking right now at 29 to 13. Drones are going to be pulled off the line. The spines need to finish. They need time, but I still don't even know if these spines going to be enough. He has enough roaches to one-shot them with one volley, and now we see everything falling down for Bly in Denver. We said, could he? We questioned it, and it looks like he can. He's going to take the 2-0.
No transfuses available for Bly here, so he can't save those spines. That's a lot of wasted money on static defense that did absolutely bugger all, Grant. And even if Denver gets cleaned up here, which he might not even get cleaned up here, he's got a +1 advantage and still has roaches. Defender's advantage bringing Bly back, but even if Denver gets cleaned up here, 16 drones have gone down. It's 27 drones to 44. Denver needs to sit back, build up some more roaches, and try and take this out. He's on a timer, though, because Bly does have Butilisks coming out. We saw how badly that went for Denver in the previous game.
Yeah,
God,
but there's only 6, and every drone almost is going down, so Bly has been completely throttled here. He has no economy left. He has 15 workers, and that number going to drop to below 10 in just a couple of moments, and GG, Denver takes